Welcome to Red-tastic. Story 1. Am I the a-hole for having a treehouse removed from my property? My grandparents died recently and I inherited their farm. I was really excited about this. Getting the farm, not their deaths. I was actually really close with them because my husband and I, 27 male and 24 female, have been looking for a house near my new school. It's my first year as a middle school teacher, and this house holds sentimental value. Grandfather built it for grandmother as wedding present, and it's a huge property, literally hundreds of acres. A few subdivisions have been built nearby, including one directly adjacent to the farm. My husband and I were exploring our new property, which has quite a bit of wooded area, and we found a huge live oak tree with a treehouse in it. This was obviously done by an adult, not children, because the lumber was new. And it was really well built, even had an AC window unit and glass windows. My husband and I waited around to see if anyone showed up, and sure enough, a guy, mid to late 30s maybe, and a few kids showed up. The guy immediately has an attitude and asks why we are on his property. My husband tells him that it's actually ours and that we have the papers to prove it. The guy tells the kids to go play and he starts freaking out because he thought that no one owned this property. So he doesn't understand how land works. He's trespassing and he has an attitude. We tell him that he needs to leave because this is private property and we don't want to be held liable for any of his kids getting hurt on our property. He leaves. He was pissed. And we immediately call the sheriff's office to report the trespassing issue. And we call a contractor to have the treehouse removed. Like I said, I'm a teacher. I can't afford a liability lawsuit. A few days passed. The treehouse was removed and the lumber was donated. And the guy showed up on our doorstep, accusing us of stealing his Christmas gift to his son. I explained to him that because the treehouse was built on our property without our consent, that legally it was ours. He threatens to call the police and I tell him to go for it because legally we're in the right. The police show up and the guy ends up being really embarrassed because he was proven wrong and fined. I feel fine having the treehouse removed, but a few people from the subdivision have called our house phone, calling us kid haters and selfish monsters. Couldn't be farther from the truth. I'm a school teacher. I love kids. Legally, I'm in the right, but morally, I don't know. So am I the a-hole? Edit. I did attempt to reach out to him, but he wouldn't answer his phone or his door. My husband dropped off the personal items, furniture, windows, AC window unit, etc. at his house. The parish, not county, we live in Louisiana, mailed him a notice that it was going to be removed, so he knew about it. Edit 2. I have gotten a few private messages and I appreciate the support and the criticism. I also appreciate people who reached out to me to make sure I wasn't an English teacher, because I overuse parentheses. Essay writing has never been my forte. My husband and I have decided to build a private fence spanning the length of the subdivision and a hurricane fence spanning the rest of the property line. We also are investing in more no trespassing signs and security cameras. The wife of the guy actually did reach out to apologize to me and my husband about her husband's actions. I'll be sending a batch of chocolate chip cookies to her tomorrow as an olive branch. We agreed with her that it's best not to involve the HOA because I don't want them to get ridiculous fines for breaking the contract that was drawn up with my grandparents about residents not trespassing. You're not the a-hole OP. You approached your neighbor and told him his treehouse was on your property. A good, reasonable person should have apologized and told you he would take it down. But instead, he decided to be rude and ignore all the warnings you sent to him after that. You're really not the a-hole for not wanting anyone to get hurt on your property. The law agrees and the police definitely agree. You're all good, OP. Now for some comments. When we moved into our newest place with almost 100 acres almost right away, We had 2 people come to us to notify us that they had deer stands on our property. They asked if it was okay to leave them or they would dismantle and remove them. We decided for now we would let them stay as they were far enough back that we don't see or hear them. Now every year we get either a half side of a deer or half a dozen lobster just for letting them stay. Not the a-hole. He built the treehouse on property that he knew didn't belong to him. When confronted, he acted like you were in the wrong and got an attitude instead of apologizing. Then he decided to go for the a-hole hat trick and called the police on you once the treehouse was taken down. You should sue him for the cost of having the treehouse removed. You did something he knew was wrong, then acted like a complete ass to you. He tried to turn the others in the subdivision against. He deserves to at least lose a little more money in this. After reading your edit, complete not the a-hole. He had a chance to remove it himself. He didn't. He was also extremely aggressive over the whole situation. Didn't try to work it out with you. I'm very sorry for the kids. A treehouse was always my dream as child, and we had a live oak, but my father would never have taken the time to build one. Really, he would never have taken the time to get to know me well enough to know that I wanted a treehouse. So I feel sorry for those children, as I think you do too, but you would have been legally liable if anything happened to his children. Story 2. Am I the a-hole for demanding my girlfriend to pay me $250? All started yesterday. I got home from running outside, threw my sweatpants on the floor. About 30 minutes later, she walks into the room and says she's going to start some laundry, asked what I needed and told her. Then she asked if the pants on the ground were dirty. I said yeah. Without even thinking, I left my AirPods in the pockets. She started the laundry, which I'm thankful for, but she didn't check my pockets at all. So after it's done washing, she comes into the room saying my headphones got washed. Asked her which pair. I have wired and AirPods. She said my AirPods. That's where I got furious. Told her, how can you be so clueless to not check pockets before washing? She said, I'm sorry, it was an honest mistake. I replied, I'm sure it was, but your mistake cost me $250. I told her I need $250 right now, no excuses. She gave me an excuse saying, I don't have $250 just to give away right now. Replied, that's not my problem. Keep saying she doesn't have it right now. Told me that right now she doesn't have a timetable on when she will be able to pay me back. Also thinks I'm not trying to work with her and being overly rude over the situation. And it could have been handled in a nicer and better way than I have. If this was a job and you cost them money, they would fire you and make you pay them back. No expectations here, just because I'm her boyfriend in my opinion. You've got to be kidding me. You're an a-hole, OP. You didn't check your pockets. You forgot. Since you wanted your girlfriend to wash them, you should have checked the pockets. Why on earth are you putting all the blame on her? The only thing she did was do your laundry. How can you be so ungrateful and blame her for destroying the AirPods that you left in your pants, and now you're saying she owes you money for them? Of course not. I really wish I could talk to your girlfriend and tell her to run far from your narcissistic, ungrateful ass and never look back. Now for some comments. Holy shit, not only are you the a-hole, you're an ass of a person. Mistakes happen. And really, it's on you to make sure your pockets are empty before you throw them in the bin. Yeah, they were on the floor, but you decided they were ready for washing. You are being overly rude, you're being uncooperative, and you're being entitled. If you really cared about your AirPods that much, you wouldn't have forgotten they were in your pants in the first place. You're the a-hole. It was a mistake. And while it would have been good to pay you back, if she doesn't have it, she doesn't have it. If they were that valuable, take better care of them and don't throw them on the floor. Also, jobs don't automatically fire you for making a mistake that costs them money. And even so, this is a relationship, not a job. Saying that and thinking that makes you seem like an a-hole. Also, saying that you need the money right now, no excuses, and talking to her that way makes you a total a-hole. You're the a-hole, and your last point is very telling. You can't view your girlfriend as an employee unless you want to be a major a-hole and ruin your relationship. I can't believe you got so angry over an accident that was also partly your fault. Also, do you really think she can magic money from thin air? You're actually insane if you think her saying she doesn't have $250 right now isn't a good excuse. You expect her to pay you money she doesn't have. How does that work? She shouldn't pay more than half anyway. I really hope she breaks up with you, because no good can come from dating an authoritarian type of guy with anger issues and no empathy. You need to fix yourself before interacting with people. Story 3. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to share my new laptop? I just got my very first paycheck today. And as a special reward for myself, I bought a nice gaming laptop and mouse. This is the most expensive thing I've ever bought. And I'm really excited about it, because I bought it on my own with my own money. Now here's the problem. My dad wants me to let his partner use it to job hunt and submit job applications since he suddenly and unexpectedly got laid off a few weeks ago. Personally, I don't feel like I should be expected to share something that I paid for myself. It should be my choice, and I honestly don't want to share it at all. I get it. Things are hard right now, but you also don't need a laptop to job hunt and submit applications. You can just as easily do that with your phone. So, am I the a-hole for not wanting to share my new laptop? Update. I did leave out one important detail. My dad actually has an old laptop that his partner is currently using. It's old and really slow, but it has all the essentials and gets the job done. Update 2. Wow, my very first silver. Wasn't expecting a post about one of my conflicts with my dad to get an award. It's probably worth mentioning that when I say partner, I mean boyfriend. I use it because it's the term my dad uses, but they are in fact in a relationship. Update 3. Last update. So it's been about a week since I posted this. At that time, my new laptop arrived, love it by the way, and my dad's partner got so fed up with dad's old laptop that he broke it by throwing it on the ground. And now he's currently using dad's work laptop. If that's how he's going to treat things that aren't his, I definitely made the right call in not allowing him to use my laptop. Thankfully, he has no clue it even exists, and I plan to keep it that way for the foreseeable future just in case. My dad is pissed at him for what he did, rightfully so, and he hasn't asked me to let his partner use my laptop at all. I'm guessing it's because he's having similar thoughts to mine right now. Thank you to everyone who commented. Now for some comments. Not the a-hole. I would not share it. His partner is unemployed and will not be able to repair or replace it if something happens to it. I would put a password on your computer that your dad can't guess to keep him from using it when you are not using it. The partner will have to make do with your dad's old laptop. Many people also use smartphones to look for jobs too, so that is also an option. You're the a-hole, but only sort of. Submitting applications on a phone sounds like a horribly inefficient nightmare. I think as long as it's just an hour or two here and there, it's reasonable to cave a bit and let them use it. I would think differently if they just wanted to browse Facebook or whatever, but having an income is actually important. No a-holes here. I get it's your laptop and you don't have to share if you don't want to. But also, if it's an old, slow laptop, I understand wanting to use a faster laptop for 30 minutes instead of the old one for an hour. Will it really affect you a lot if you let him use the laptop? Definitely not the a-hole for asking. And it's within your rights to say no. But it would also be a really nice thing to say yes. I'm sure you know how annoying working with a slow computer can be. It's not your responsibility to say yes, but it would be nice. Up to you.